back. I'm so glad you could join us for another episode of Prairie Hearts. This may be the greatest show ever produced about Westman, Manitoba. Today, we're all about punching our way out of reality. We'll introduce you to a new kind of escape room, where the thrills and chills are all in your head. But first, put up your dukes. Roddy Batson boxed his way to the top. A former #1 welterweight fighter from Brandon, now he's passed down his skills and his dreams to his 2 sons. Together with his wife, Roddy Batson and this family of fighters is using their Brandon gym to turn the next generation into champions. Let's take a look.
The main event, and here it was, Del Ritchie, the #1 ranked welterweight in Canada versus Brandon's Roddy Batson in the red stripes. And you think Roddy was ready for this one? He said he was ready, and so this was a definite slugfest with the first loss for Del Ritchie.
You can hold it a little bit. So if your hand's right against your face, you can eat it. Okay, 45 degrees, right there. Same with that hand. 45 degrees. Watch my shoulder. Watch me from the back. Okay. You throw your jab. See where my shoulder is? See where my chin is? It's tucked. Right, same thing on this. Nice form, nice and long. I was a boxer. I used to live in Winnipeg. And then eventually I met my coach, Terry Fowler, when I moved to Brandon. And when I first met Terry, he really didn't really want me to. He thought I was actually too old. Because I was 28 at the time, and he said to me, you know, I only work with younger boxers. So one of the other coaches was Helge Helgeson, and he said, don't worry about your age, you'll be fine. Short pushes for the chest, wide pushes for the shoulders. Okay, you see my butt? Brian, you see my butt? Down. 1. You know, kept boxing as an amateur. Eventually came to the point where I've been really doing well, and I thought, you know, it was time to make that next jump to professional. Yourself in the face. Yeah. So you want to be out there. 1. And I moved my way up the ranks, so I finally got a chance to fight for a title. And at the time when I fought, I was #1 ranked in Canada.
Don't only push around. You're balanced. Roll. 1. He was ranked #1 in Canada as a boxer. He was actually in the military. He's an Army vet. He's actually got a pretty good little resume. He's got his master's in education. He's a smart cookie in that regard. Hit, pivot. My earliest memories were in a boxing club. I started competing when I was 10 years old. Hide those moves. I've pretty much been coaching since like the age of 14. Coaching athletics, different sports, things of that nature. Can't block everything. That's why you got to throw numbers.
Yeah, Perry. Yeah, like most of my family box, like even I have some family from Winnipeg, and a couple of them been boxing, so I guess it's just kind of in the family.
Go, there you go, then move your head after.
1, 3, 2. I've been coaching for probably about 6 years or so. 1, 2. Well, I started a couple years before we got the gym, but I had like 4 or 5 years under my belt at that time. So yeah, as soon as we got this gym back in 2014, 2015, so yeah, I just started coaching right away.
The boys just come by it naturally. They've been around it their whole life. And yeah, couldn't get my daughter or my wife to do it. But my wife does. My wife is an official. She's a judge. So yeah, she's part of the family too.
They just wanted to do it like all on their own. Like I think they saw their dad boxing, and from a young age they've been around it, and they just Rodman more so. He like sort of picked it up at a young age, and he really was keen on learning boxing. So he started off quite young. I've been around it for so long. Like even when the boys come over and they watch boxing fights on TV, we kind of watch it as a family. We kind of analyze the fights. We talk about the styles. And kind of along, like as we're sort of judging the fight, as it goes along as well. So it's become a real family event, and like a family history, I guess.
Good afternoon. Like the old song goes, 2 out of 3 isn't bad. Last night in Winnipeg, that was the case as 3 Brandon boxers put their professional records on the line. It was fight night at the Winnipeg Convention Center with Brandonites Roddy Batson, Terry Fowler Jr., and Brian Ramsden all on the card. For Batson, he was trying to redeem himself from a loss to Selkirk's Del Ritchie late last year.
This picture here is when I was ranked #1 in Canada. I fought Del Ritchie. I fought him twice as an amateur and twice as a pro. A little bit of a story. I've been a champion for a while as an amateur, and I kind of took it easy on him the first time, and he beat me. So I came back and beat him to win my championship back. And then as a pro, I'd been a pro for a little bit longer than him. So again, I kind of took it easy on him the first time. And the second time, I cut him up, put a nice big gash in his forehead.
Batson would cut Ritchie enough for the match to be called. It was a TKO win for Batson in the 6th round and the first pro loss for Del Ritchie.
So it's a lot of work. So, you know, I think I retired when I was 33. So I thought, you know, time to train my kids and work with my kids, and that's how that's how my boys started getting into boxing. You know, I spend more time with them.
COVID restrictions really were a tough battle. You know, we'd be training for nationals, provincials, whatever, and you know, things would get canceled. Obviously, it was a worldwide pandemic, and things were out of people's control. But it was just a little frustrating to be training, you know, aimlessly almost. So now that things are kind of settling down, competitions are back. So it's go time.
So we're trying to host at least 3 fights here. So like I said, that one's November 12th. We're for sure going to have them in April. We had them last year in April. But elite fighters all across Canada. So Quebec, Ontario, BC. And it's kind of like a 2-day tournament. So we'll be hosting that again this year. Yes, 2 pro fights so far. Hoping to have a 3rd one soon, maybe early December, we're hoping. His first fight was like 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago now, actually, I guess. Then we're having our card on the 12th of November, so I'll be fighting for sure on that one, but kind of want a couple more fights before that because I haven't fought in a while either. It's been at least 6 or 8 months or so. He's always been a busy man. Like, he was a professional boxer. He'd be he'd nurse. He's always like busy. He's always doing something, and like the fact that he could kind of manage all that while raising 3 kids, definitely a guy to look up to.
Anybody want to punch me in the stomach just to see? Come on, you can try. Okay, go ahead. Harder, harder, harder. Come on. Okay. That's core. You like that, eh? Okay, that's core. When you're fighting, you gotta protect this. You're gonna get hit in the body, so I want you guys to start doing core. Whenever you get a chance, push-ups in the morning, sit-ups at night. Do them both, combination. Okay, let's start working the bag.